Are we ready to roll?
Yeah, let's go.
It's another Saturday morning, Shawnee. It's Saturday morning when you folks are tuning in. Sean Crossick and I are sitting here late Friday night. Another heck of a Friday night.
It was.
And we are happy to bring you another This Week in High School Sports. We're here at the midnight hour, the midnight special. Shawnee, I can't wait to tell the folks about another great week of football that we just saw tonight.
Yeah, a lot of action and a lot of strong performances and a lot of some very big-time performances, I should say.
Tonight was really make or break night for our football teams. You know, we had some breaks. Sad to report, we had some breaks. Cheshire losing 20-12 down at the Surf Club to Hand. Crazy game down there. It was windy. You know, it's right on the sound. The lights went out. 20-12. And Shawnee, that was a 13-12 game until the fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, that was a close game, and then all of a sudden Hand scored the final touchdown, and there was a long touchdown pass. Was it Phoenix Billings to Ian Butler, and then Cheshire had a shot at the end, but they couldn't. It just fell short.
That's a tough one for Cheshire, you know, because that puts them at 5-3. You know, if they win that game, you know, they're 6-2, and that collision course with Southington looks good on Thanksgiving. Because Southington tonight, after losing to East Hartford last week, that 41-game win streak in a regular season coming to an end against East Hartford. Sorry to remind you about that, Southington and your fans. But Southington bounces back tonight. They handle Enfield no problem, 45-8. Once they got going in the second quarter, Southington put up points. Boom, boom, out go the lights in a figurative sense in Southington.
Yes.
Okay. Who did the scoring there, by the way, Shawnee? Because your note-taking, once again, is far more impressive and neater than mine.
Will Barmar combined for 3 touchdowns. He threw for 2. One to Jimmy Ringrose. It was a long one, and Tim O'Shea also caught one that was deflected. And he caught it in the end zone. They also had 2 rushing touchdowns from Tanner LaRosa and a 37-yarder from Ryan Montalvo.
Okay, so that puts Southington at 7-1. They're 8th in the Class LL rankings, but they play South Windsor next week. South Windsor is 7-1. They're at number 7, so Southington has a chance to gain some points, climb back up that double L ladder. That's double L, where we were deployed tonight with our writers and our photographer and our man Pete back from the wilds of Wallingford. I understand the temperature was plummeting quite rapidly. You were complaining about being a little cold. For a hockey guy, I thought they were impervious to cold. Apparently not. It's all right, Pete. We still love you, man. Grow that beard a little bit longer to keep the draft from going down your back there. Pete was down at the Wallingford games tonight. So is Justin Weeks. We're going to start with Lyman Hall because we're just giddy over Lyman Hall. The Rock and Rollers under Coach Bill Wyrock. Shawnee, tonight they beat Branford 12-zip on senior night, last home game of the season at Fitzgerald Field. Hey, Trojans are 5-3. Yeah. And you see the little number we got next to their name up there? What's that say, Shawnee? It says 9 for Class M. Yeah. They are ranked number 9 in Class M at 5-3. And some quick math. 5 wins. That's what Lyman Hall had in the 5 previous years combined. They're 5-3. How'd they get it done tonight against Branford, Shawnee?
The defense. Their defense was the story here tonight. Shakespeare Rodriguez had 2 interceptions, and they also took out a blocked fake field goal by Branford. They stopped in the second quarter, and then all they needed was rushing touchdowns from Randy McFarland and Austin Ruiz, and some big defensive stops down the stretch, and that was the recipe.
Randy McFarland with a long touchdown run. Austin Ruiz, who is a Athlete of the Week nominee. Voting continues through Sunday night at midnight. They had the rushing touchdowns. And Shakespeare Rodriguez, our favorite name of the year, and I'm glad he's coming back next year too so we can pun on his name even more. My Kingdom for an interception. He had 2 of them tonight. Woohoo! Lyman Hall 5-3. Thanksgiving in Wallingford is shaping up to be very interesting. Hey, the Sheehan Titans, Pete was over at that game too. Talk about a TKO. 41 points in the first quarter for Sheehan. They had the young kids in right away as well. Coach John Ferrazzi managing that one properly. Sheehan, they are now 7-1. They beat Bassick of Bridgeport 62-8. And Sheehan is looking very good. They're number 4 in Class M, on target for a postseason berth. We like to see that. But again, the Kareem Bowl is creeping up on us, and it could be a very interesting matchup this year over at Richatelli Field. What happened there tonight with the Titans, though, in their game against Bassick?
Like you said, it was 41-0 right away. Bassick was just outmatched. Jordan Davis started it off. He had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 3 carries, 89 yards. Also had single touchdowns from Ryan Paul and Joe Perry. Nathan Zona came in. He had 94 yards on 7 carries, also 2 touchdowns. And can't forget West Tersey, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 to Evan Mansfield and 1 to Brady McCarthy.
Yeah, Junior West Tersey is definitely having a solid season for Sheehan. They are 7-1. You know who else is 7-1? That's right, the Maloney Spartans. They won their 7th game tonight. They were up in Newington. They pulled away to a 41-10 win. Maloney's a little slow to get going. They just, they're kind of late arrivers at the party. But once they get going, the party gets going. Maloney has won 7 in a row.
Yeah. Spartans look strong. Lou Graham connected with Victor Marquez for 2 passing touchdowns. And Aiden Valentin with 2 rushing touchdowns for the Spartans. And like you said, they improved to 7-1.
That puts them number 6 in the Class L playoff rankings. We wrote it right up there on our Magic Dry Erase board. So Maloney's looking good in the Class L race. Not looking good is Platt. They really pretty much took it on the chin tonight and really have fallen out of the picture. As much as it pains us to say that, we are big fans of the Panthers and the coaching staff, Jason Bruin and the guys. But tonight, they were defeated at Falcon Field by Bristol Central 43-26. That puts the Panthers at 4-4. So, like we said, make or break night. 4 of our teams are really in playoff contention. Some more so than others, but they're there with nice winning records. And Cheshire and Platt, difficult losses tonight that kind of takes them out of the picture. That was it for football tonight for Week 8. We have Week 9 next week before the Thanksgiving Day games. Also this week we have a lot of conference tournament stuff going on, and we've got some teams who are deep in the hunt. We have Cheshire and Southington volleyball. They play for conference championships tonight. Cheshire is down at East Haven, correct, against Guilford?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since they've won it, and they're hungry to hold up that trophy again this year.
All right, and Southington, Rich Heights' team, they're in Glastonbury going against the Ram, which is only the number 1 team in the state. We will see if Heights and his girls can take it to new heights. I think we probably used that sad pun a couple times, but wouldn't it be something, though, if the Lady Knights could knock Ram off from their perch in the CCC final? But we had other games this evening, this week, Shawnee, outside of the realm of football that you're going to be so kind to take us through, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Regan Maloney's first half goal was all that Maloney needed, and the 1-0 victory. The Spartans and Mackenzie Rinn had a shutout and held the Panthers off the board. Despite a strong effort in the second half by Platt, Lizzie Garlock had 4 shots on goal, but none were able to go in. On the boys' side, like I said, it was 1-0 Maloney. Senior Addison Cardoso scored on a penalty kick in the first half. It was the lone goal of the game. It was set up by Brian Basil being fouled in the box, and Cardoso hit it, knocked it into the right of the keeper. And for the goal, Platt played one of their best games of the year despite the loss. They had a few times they hit the crossbar, but ultimately their season came to an end. Staying in boys soccer, Southington, also a red-hot team. They defeated Conard this week 1-0. Eli Rodriguez scored a second-half goal for a 1-0 win. And then that win also clinched the CCC West Colonial Division. Colin Burdett had the assist. And like I said, the Southington's been on fire. They've finished the season 6-1-2. Also, Wilcox Tech, they had a 2-1 win. They reached their conference final, which will be played on Saturday. But they defeated Bullard Havens on Thursday 2-1. In the win, Will Pollock and Andres Forfin both scored. Kelvin Cortez and Elias Henry had assists. Tanner Rhodes recorded the shutout in the win. And we'll finish off the scholastic section of this show with Cheshire defeating Sheehan for the 3rd time this year. They swept them 3-0 in the SEC semifinals in Cheshire on Thursday night. The Rams were dominant. They won a close first game, and then they really crushed them the last 2 games, and they moved on. Elena Perron, a foreign exchange student from Italy, had 8 kills and 4 digs for For Cheshire, also Lindsey Abramson had 6 kills and 2 digs. Now Cheshire will move on to the conference finals where they'll play Guildford.
Shawnee, thank you for taking us through those events. Of course, you were at a lot of them. And one thing I do want to say about, the Sheehan Titans volleyball was Victoria Speraza. Nice little run for them in the SEC tournament. They were the number 12 seed, and they took down the number 5, down number 4. Cheshire Rams, number 1, undefeated for a reason. We'll see if they get back to the top of the SEC mountain tonight against Guildford down in East Haven. And as we mentioned, Southington is taking on Ram in the CCC final. Also tonight at 6 o'clock. Yes, all 3 conference finals are tonight at 6 o'clock. So flip a coin and then flip another one. We have Joe Testa's Wilcox Tech boys soccer team, who you saw this week. Undefeated, baby. They're going for the CTC Boys Soccer Championship against Prince Tech / University. How about you, Shawnee? But I think I want to send you there to see Joe and the boys one more time. That's a heck of a team they got going. Meriden guys, some Wallingford guys. They're 17-0-1, going for a conference championship. They're the number 2 seed in Class L. We'll be seeing them on Monday. Giuseppe, buonasera, buona fortuna. We'll catch you guys next week.